It's your boy here to give you guys a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 12, Episode 1. So I got my notes. I'm just going to, I believe I'm going to fly through it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get to some points where I'm probably going to expound. But for the most part, not a whole lot happened. So it's really not a need for me to go into explicit detail. But let's get started. So we start out with Kenya. She has baby Brooklyn. She's enjoying motherhood, which is a good thing. She also kind of forementions that there's going to be some things with her and Mark that are going to occur because they are bi-coastal. She's in Atlanta, he's in New York. Things are difficult, but it's easy. Well, not easy. I understand why things are difficult. One, she does have businesses there, but I'm pretty sure some of her businesses she can relocate for. His he can't because they are like in New York, and right now her biggest thing is shooting Real Housewives of Atlanta, so she has to be in Atlanta to shoot Real Housewives of Atlanta for the most part. And she pretty much has said that our Mark businesses are growing, and that's the main thing that's keeping him in New York. Then we move over to Portia. Portia's with PJ. She says that Dennis had moved out. Some things were going on the blogs. She didn't really pay too much attention to it, but she did go through his phone. Saw some inappropriate things, and that sparked a big argument, and they're currently not together. What she decided to do is with her mother and sister is not tell them everything, but tell them just enough what she needed them to know, which is a good thing, because it's always said when you get into it with your significant other, you never tell your family everything, because if y'all get back together, they're not as forgiving, so they're going to hold that person, like literally hold all of that stuff over their heads, because that's all that you've been telling them. So kind of a smart idea. And moving on, we got Candy. She's with Ace and Todd. They talk with I forget how to say her name. Shama, something like that. I apologize. I thought I wrote it out right. I didn't. But she's the surrogate. Candy says that they were supposed to have twins. They had 2 embryos, but one didn't make it. She felt bad about it, but then she, got happy because at least there is one. But it's kind of hurting her a bit because a lot of the mummy-isms she can't experience because the kids are not growing inside of her. So she doesn't get to feel, the first kick, lactating and all that other stuff. So it's one of those where it kind of feels disjointed, where obviously someone is carrying this baby, but she kind of sort of doesn't really have that connection. So I feel bad for Candy on that. Trying to see if I missed anything. Don't think I did. We have Eva and Michael, his baby number 3. She's talking about moving from where they are into another place, but they don't want to do a temporary space. Which, if that's the case, then just stay in that house till you found the one you want, then it's built up and then move. But not here nor there. That's their business. One thing that I do find to be funny is I wonder if this is going to be a recurring thing for Eva, that she's pregnant every season. Because as long as she's pregnant, that is obviously a cop-out to when certain things do and don't happen, because that happened last season where, a lot of people didn't get into it with her because she was pregnant, and, you don't want to sit here and stress out the baby, and that she even played on that during the reunion, if y'all were paying close enough attention. So I think that I'm probably not going to be talking much about Eva. We got Cynthia. She's with Mike at her place. They're both, it's morning time. He's in bed. She gets in bed with him. They're fully clothed. She has a wig and everything going. They're talking about Mike's schedule, the fact that he does a lot of work in LA, and obviously she's in Atlanta, so she is experiencing what Kenya's experiencing, but on a different level, because of course Kenya is married. But Mike is asking her, like, when do you need me? I think it was November or whatever month it was. She was like, I want you here the whole month. He's like, well, no, you need to tell me when you need me here. So they're trying to figure out scheduling and whatnot. And with her, I mean, she actually legit does have businesses that are physically in Atlanta, so she kind of sort of needs to be there. I'll get to that in just a second because it's going to come back up. Uh, but she's talking about that and also the wedding, so she's been very thirsty about it, pushing it, hinting at it, especially on social media. And his thing is, okay, well, let me be a man. Like, when that time comes, like, don't take that moment away from me. So it's cute. We'll see what happens with those two. But later on, so it's still within the same time frame. So like once the commercial came back, Cynthia, Mallory, and Kenya are at the Bailey wine cellar. Mallory is her manager, so she's there because Cynthia's doing a lot of traveling, trying to keep her relationship with Mike alive. Kenya is throwing a doll party for baby Brooklyn, and then Cynthia brings up the Seagram's party, and then they start talking about Nene and how Nene was upset about Kenya being there. And this was something that was said last season. Well, last season by a lot of the reviewers, and it was actually a clip that they actually used for this that Messy Miles had posted on his social media, where you had Kenya saying to Nene, I couldn't even get a courtesy heads up that you were inviting, my ex. And Nene going off like, I'm not thinking about you, blah, 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 blah. So it's one of those where it's funny that when it's Nene, she deserves all the courtesies and whatnot. But if it's anybody else, F you. So, yeah, whatever. And then also there's, the whole wedding talk, and Kenya's telling her, don't be thirsty, this, that, and third. And then the whole Portia thing comes up. And, they're talking about Portia, Dennis, bestiality, that whole thing. So obviously that's going to be a reoccurring thing for this episode and for upcoming episodes. We move on to Portia. She talks with her mom and her sister. She hasn't been eating, and she hasn't been going out where normally her getting ready will take an hour, but it will go to 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. By then it's nighttime. She hasn't made any progress. One thing that I have noticed, she's actually obviously going through depression, possibly anxiety, and I know all too well about that. But I find it to be weird that she is clearly displaying signs, and I really would have wished that her mother or her sister would have either tried to encourage her to go see someone or bring someone over to her house to, talk some of these things out rather than just keep them bottled in, so she can kind of sort through those emotions and, get to a better place. Because she even said that at the end of the month, she's going back to work. And obviously these questions are going to be asked, especially at this nation. So being able to work through it now will better help then. So just something for y'all to think about. So Candy and Cynthia and Eve are at OLG. A girl named Sincerely sends Candy a drink. And y'all know Candy don't drink, but sends her a drink and then comes to join Candy. We find out that Candy had, I guess, ran into her several times, so she knows of her. But she pretty much said that the, supposed mistress that, is bringing up Portia's home, well, that's me, but I've never seen or met Dennis. So pretty much trying to cancel that out. And you know what? Hey, I applaud her for, taking this opportunity to see that the camera was there and just go ahead and clear your name right quick. Better to do it on a big platform such as the Real Housewives of Atlanta than try to sit here and do it on social media. So I commend her for that. And their whole thing is, you have Eva and Cynthia saying, okay, we need to bring this support. Candy is just like, look, the last time I tried to tell her something about her man, it did not go right. And I was even sitting there just like, yeah, Candy don't need to be nowhere involved in this, because it seems like they're getting to a better place. If I'm not mistaken, at the reunion, was it this last reunion? One of these reunions, but I think it was the last one, where she pretty much told everybody, look, I'm done with it. We're done with it. Let's not bring, the whole sex dungeon, anything like that up. So no, that was I think the previous season. Whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about. So this is them trying to get over that. What else? What else? What else? What else? All right. See, I'm almost done wrapping this thing up. Told y'all this is gonna be somewhat quick, somewhat quick. All right. So to go ahead and finish this off, this is Baby Brooklyn's party. All of them were supposed to be dressed as life-size Barbies. It was funny that what's her name? Cynthia came as, you know, thirsty bride Barbie. But you know, they're all having a good time. Pretty much all of them had their kids except for Eva. Eva was saying that she really doesn't know Kenya like that, and you know, until you know she actually kind of gets to know her and feel her energy, she's not bringing her child around. Since it was somewhat co-signing it, at one point you hear, well, Kenya did a confessional saying that, you know, she respects Portia for coming to this event, because if that was her, she probably wouldn't be able to go to any events, because she probably would be, you know, snatch somebody up, mentioning something about her husband, this, that, and third. Those two have built a budding friendship, and they go off to a room with their children, because their children's are, you know, I guess they fell asleep in their arms and whatnot. You know, they're catching up, talking about stuff. Even Portia in her confessional says, you know, she knows how it is to hate somebody for, or hold a grudge for 3 years, and don't want their energy transferring to her child and vice versa, Kenya's child, and there be issues between the children. So respectful. And you have Kenya. Okay, I'm sorry, I missed something. So the girls were whispering about when would be a good time to tell Portia. Kenya's like, what are y'all talking about? So I'm pretty sure the producers told her to go over there. What are y'all talking about? She hears it, and they told her, don't say nothing, because we don't want to do it here, because this isn't the proper time, and this is your child's birthday party. So we don't want to sit here and mess up the mood. When she goes and says something anyway, she's like, you know what, let me go grab the girls, because they can actually tell the story. And she brings the girls in, and I think the only girl that's not there is Eva. Crap, I'm sorry. Before that happened, getting everything out of order, you had Portia to bring a bone about Eva not bringing her child, and even saying, oh, and you know, Cynthia was co-signing the whole thing. And I'm just like, I don't even know why that was particularly necessary for you to bring that up, because it almost seems like you're sitting here trying to sow a seed of discord, especially between her and Cynthia. And what I was going to say about that is, I can understand that. Like, especially me being as spiritual as I am, like, people have spirits, people have demons and whatnot on them. And you know, I like, until I figure you out, no, I don't want you nowhere near my kids either. Not to say that you gonna do anything, but I don't know what you have on you. Also, you gotta think about the atmosphere. Like, quiet as it's kept, loud as it is, you had some of the parents in there using profanity around the children. Maybe she don't want her kids around that. So it's one of those things that that needs to be understood. And I'm pretty sure as Kenya, you know, matures as a mother, she will start to see that and be that overprotective. So I can understand that. I didn't like what Portia was doing. So that probably is her way of trying to sit here and help facilitate the drama, to one, stay on the show, and two, to kind of push some of the energy off of her and her situation. I see you. But the girls come in to discuss it, minus Eva, and then it's brought up that it happened at the OLG, and then you got Portia like, oh my gosh, and Candace was like, this is why I didn't want to bring this shit up, this, that, and third. But they talk about it, it's done, but Portia still has her reservations about her whole situationship with Dennis. So that's the first episode. I got through it in a decent amount of time. So please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.